we're bringing you all you need to succeed in the real estate business. It's Spilling the LT, brought to you by Lawyers Title, telling you what it's really like to work in real estate.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Tamera. Today, we're going to talk about how to maintain a realtor business for life. But first, if you like my content, you're really going to love my escrow team. So let's get a conversation going about your title needs. You can reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. Today's guests are Tom and Angela May. They are realtors that have been in the business for 20 years this year. So if anyone is an expert about how to maintain a real estate business, they are. They're incredibly valued clients of ours and partners of Lawyers Title. First of all, I want to say thank you for that, but also I want to welcome them onto the show. So Tom and Angela, top producing realtors with Monument Realty. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
It's been long overdue. I apologize for not having you on the show until now. It's been way too long, right?
No problem.
So I'm excited to have you today. I'm one of those people that just like to dive right in, right? So I'm going to ask you the first question. So we're going to talk about, and let's set the stage for just a second. You guys are sphere-based realtors. All of your business comes from your sphere?
Most.
What would you say
90%.
the percentage? 90%.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 90% of your business comes from your sphere. Always has in the 20 years.
No. It's changed over the years.
Okay.
We are real consistent with open houses, and we'll pick up new clients there.
Okay.
And meeting new people out in the neighborhoods and out, at our volunteer activities, things of that nature. But now it's 90%.
90% referral.
Yes.
That's incredible. Okay. So we've set the stage for you to be the expert, right? So let's talk about, we talked about the main source of your new clients. So 90% of them come from referrals. Can you explain how that referral happens? Do you ask for a referral or do you naturally get them?
So we do ask. We follow the Brian Buffini type of referral making system where he always says to ask for the referral. So we will ask more of in a fun way, not just say, hey, can you send me some business? But, don't forget us, if you know somebody who's moving, or, hey, we'd love to come help you get your house ready for sale or whatever. But more in a casual way or a conversational type way.
Do you find that there's a perfect opportunity to ask for that? A lot of realtors do it at the closing table or right post-closing. Do you find that there's a time that works better for you to ask that question, or are you just looking for the open door?
I'd say really anytime, right?
Yeah, I think it's, any time that it seems appropriate.
Okay.
Or the opportunity happens. So sometimes it's with clients when I'm showing them and they might mention, oh, my mother's moving into town, and then I'll get it in there. Well, I'd love to help her. Right. Any of your family and friends. We obviously put it in all of our mailers. Our business cards say we would love to have your referrals. So I think it just depends. And it's not even with past clients, it's with everybody that we know.
Okay.
Just anybody that we want to do business with.
Well, I think one of the things that you touched on that I think is a golden nugget, and I'm going to pick up those little golden nuggets out of what you guys say today. That is part of the Buffini method, is to ask for the business, right? Mm-hmm. But it starts with having some genuine conversations with the people that are in your sphere, right? So you're intentional about having those conversations, and you're picking up on what they're talking about, and you hear something like, my mother-in-law is moving to town, or my, sister's going to come to Texas, or whatever it is. And that's your opportunity, but it starts with the phone call. So, or the contact to the client. Right. So do you want to talk about that for just a second? Like, do you have a system of how many client calls you make a day or make a month? Is that part of your touch system for your clients?
So not necessarily the phone calls, because we feel like we're always out in the public, let's say. I mean, we know that real estate is 24/7, and we're out working every single day. So if we're out and we're talking to people, we know that we have to integrate some of our real estate knowledge into, what we're doing on a daily basis. And that way it just comes naturally. We do a lot of handwritten cards, so we'll ask there for the referrals, and through that we'll get interaction through text messages or phone calls that we want to make intentionally. I think for a birthday or for, hey, if you need help with this, we're happy to help you, whatnot, things like that.
Well, and that was kind of diving into my next question was how do you market to your sphere and stay top of mind, right?
Yep.
And so a lot of that comes through those intentional touches, which, I wrote this down as a notable, right? Because I thought it was incredibly interesting when we were having our pre-podcast discussion yesterday. How many handwritten cards they write a month? So tell everyone about how many cards you write and what they're for, what the purpose of the card is for.
Sure. We want to reach out to our past clients and that we know either has a birthday or an anniversary, but just to thank you for, let them know that we appreciate them, supporting our business and asking if there's anybody else that they know that might need a good, and we can always say something fun like a great two real estate agents, Angela and I together instead of just one.
Yes.
We always try to add something fun in there like that. But we do 50 of those every month, maybe 60, depending on, what's happening.
Wait, don't glaze over that. Okay. Like you just said you do 50 to 60 thank you cards a month.
We do every month.
Those are just touching base with people. So that's our sphere.
Right.
And they get a card, 3 to 4 times a year.
Okay.
And that is just those people that are,
that
are grouped in our CRM.
Okay. And then
we also do birthday cards. So obviously anybody that we have closed with or that are in our sphere, we get their birthdays, and I send anywhere from probably 20 to 30 birthday cards out a month.
Okay. So we're at anywhere from 70 to 80 cards a month so far. I'm doing the math here.
Yeah,
okay.
they're handwritten, and we like to include a little gift, either a scratch off card or a little gift card to something.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't have to be a bank breaker. Okay. No. Right. There are incredibly budget friendly touches that you can do to stay in front of your clients.
Exactly.
Okay. Right. So we're at 50 to 60 thank you cards a month, 25 to 30 birthday cards a month. And there's more.
And there's more.
Few more.
There's a few more. Yeah. We try to get their house anniversary.
Okay.
Card.
Yeah.
So,
purchase anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You've been in your house for 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. I think people enjoy getting that. And then their wedding anniversary, if that's possible, if we have that.
So when we added all this up yesterday, okay, I was like, and 10 more here and another 12 here. We were at somewhere between right around 100 cards, 100 cards a month.
Yes. We're going to get to triple digits
each month.
Handwritten.
Yes.
So I think that I was just talking with one of my real estate friends about that this morning, about the lost art of the handwritten card, right? And I have a client that sends the most incredibly thought out. I can't express myself as well as she can. They're incredibly thought out, and she's not the only one. But I find that whenever I open my mailbox and you see that handwritten card in there, look, a lot of people think it's a waste of time or it is a lost art, but it's incredibly exciting to get a card from someone that you know in the mail, and it is such a strong touch. I commend you guys. I thought that was the most interesting thing that we talked about yesterday. We've done business and worked together for a very long time. And I did not know that you guys did 100 handwritten cards a month.
No, it is. It's a great feeling. In fact, I just got one from you. Well, we did. Sorry, in the mail. Yeah. Last week.
Yes.
For our closing recently.
That's right.
And so it is. It means a lot. It's just a quick, hey, Tamera thought about us. Even though we've been working together for years. It means a lot. Right.
Well,
really
the
does.
market slowed down just a touch. So thank you cards for closings are incredibly yay, we had a good. We got another one closed. It's exciting. Things are picking up now, but
it is important.
But it is, my point is like when you open your mailbox and you see something from your friends, from people that you work with, it's really a nice feeling, and people remember that. So I commend you guys. I thought that was incredibly notable. That I even wrote notable. Yeah. So let's kind of back up, because you touched on this, Angela. And we touched and Brian Buffini. If you don't know who Brian Buffini is, he's an incredibly large real estate coach. He is very much a sphere real estate coach and very well known. So you can Google Brian, and he's from Ireland.
Right.
From Ireland.
He is.
And very, very robust personality for sure. And
his wife,
very memorable.
Interesting story, is a Olympic athlete herself.
For whatever reason, that didn't surprise me. I feel like power people just find each other. Yeah.
Amazing.
So I also organized my clients according to the Buffini method as well. So Why don't you talk about I don't want to talk about CRMs too much. I just want to touch on it because I feel like at this level, if you don't have a CRM, this podcast isn't for you.
Right. No, you have to.
So talk about your categorizing your clients. Just real quick.
So we have all of our clients, definitely anybody that's closed with us, as a category A through D. Those are ones that will get that thank you card or that touch card, once a month or once every other, I guess, a couple times a year based on.
And they get more than that.
Oh, they get more than that, but that's at least the regular. Also clients that maybe haven't been clients yet that we're working with. We want to be clients, other people in our sphere that we know will eventually sell with us. So everybody's in there as a category, and then they're either a buyer or a seller or a lease client, and then that's where we also input everything about their birthdays and their kids and their any special events and things that are coming up, or how we got that client, how did they become part of our sphere.
Right.
And the clients are separated by A. Do you use A plus? I use A plus.
We do A plus, A, B, C, D.
And D. Okay. And they're categorized by if you've done a deal, done a transaction with them, bought or helped them buy or sell a house or lease a house, and if they also provide you with referrals, if I remember Feeney correctly. Yes.
Correct. And they can change too,
Yes, they can.
Yeah. We move them around a little bit.
Every year.
We do. We go through it quite a bit. And then we also have them in other groups also.
Okay.
So for some of our marketing, so we do the calendars. I know we're going to talk about that at the end of the year. That's one of our biggest, end of the year, probably marketing costs is, full length, the full wall calendars. And so we have different types of calendars. So we mark people if they're getting, a regular one or a religious one. And so so we also have them categorized in different groups.
Well, and I think that categorization of the clients is really important because you really want to take care of the people that are most loyal to you and provide you with, come and use you again for their next transaction, but also refer you to their friends and family. So that's kind of where I was trying to get with that is the categorizations. What made you want to choose Buffini? Why Buffini? Because there's other real estate coaches out there that are phenomenal, right?
Yeah, and we've probably been through all of them. Top producer and all of those. We had an Excel spreadsheet when we first started, but they are on a great consistent basis with us. They have coaches that we can talk to. They have meetings locally that we can bounce ideas off of other realtors, and they send you this kit every month as well. So it's a kit of the cards and a mailer, and it kind of forces you to keep that going. So I'll see that, delivered right to my house every single month. Right. So we take that and we have to, use that to send out the cards. And there's a little piece in there to mail out to give them something of value as well.
Okay. Yep. I love the item of value. Yep. Absolutely.
So we'll use that as well. And then the third thing we like about it, if you drill down into it, he also has an email system that you can send out drip email campaigns or just a blast email to all of our contacts. So once a month, I'll also go in there and send out a drip email or set that up or send out a blast email depending on the interest rate or the market rate or something that's happening, specific to an area or maybe just as a national type of nugget for everybody.
So let me ask you this, Tom. A lot of things that you said, there's a lot of realtors out there that would say some of those methods are antiquated or out of date. What would you say in response to that statement?
It still works. I mean, like you said earlier, people love the special touch and they love the note. What we didn't tell you is that we also try to add in the cards that we send out, a little something of value as well.
Right.
Like we'll have printed up from Monument. They'll print up special events for us and we'll put it in the card, or we'll put scratch offs in those or something in there. So you never really know what you're getting or the client.
Well, and you're right. Monument does do a lot of things. Like they have events at the PGA and they have events at the Star, the movie night and Halloween thing and the trunk or treat or whatever it's called. So they do a lot of things. Yeah.
Those, photograph opportunities, or, we got to play baseball with Dak Prescott out at Texas Ranger Stadium last year.
Yeah.
So things like that, we'll put an invite in there or something, whatever is happening.
And isn't that wonderful that they do those things for you guys? Because it is a client, you can turn it into use it as your own client appreciation event, but you're not having to foot all of the setup of the event and set the date and, all the things. You just have to invite your clients and participate. So I think that's a great built-in client appreciation event for you. Makes it easier for you guys to keep moving down the road. So I love that they do that for you. Okay. So just quickly touch on what kind of marketing efforts you do in general. You kind of talked about it a little bit. Direct mailers, thank you cards,
yes,
client events.
We're in a magazine. We have a magazine that we have advertised in, and we'll send that out to clients. I brought a sample, but
American Lifestyle.
Yes, you've seen those.
Yes,
so we do that. And over the years, we've done many other advertising things, like in newspapers we used to, right? And a lot of social media. We'll buy and send out some blasts on social media. We use the companies that'll take our listings and advertise those for us, list reports, those type of events or systems, I guess is a good word. We do the Popeyes. Did we mention that?
No, but and look, again, that kind of goes back to like a lot of realtors would be like, that's antiquated. But I don't think it is. No. I'm going to disagree because I think that there are tried and true ways of building a realtor business that are still applicable today. Yeah. And everything, it's not just do one thing and call it, right? This is a combined effort of a lot of different touches so that you stay top of mind with your clients.
Yeah.
If you just took one of those things and plucked it out and tried to implement it, it wouldn't work. It's the total effort.
Exactly.
You make a good point because these clients we work with, think about it, they have kids and their kids are now having kids.
Yes.
Right? So, and they're in sports and they're either at our church or somewhere. We see them or we see their children or their friends. So if we touch all of them at one certain way, we may not hit the main client the first time, but we might hit their child or give them a box of cookies or for them to enjoy. But then down the road, they're going to see that. They're going to realize that, that's from Tom and Angela.
Yeah.
Right. And then we have pens that we order 1,000 pens every couple months. So we give those pens out everywhere. And it's a little thing. But then when they're writing with that pen at home and they see the card, they put two and two together.
Yeah.
So they try to.
Yeah.
So Angela, talk about your Popeyes a little bit. I want to talk about Popeyes. I like Popeyes.
I do too. Popeyes are fun. I always have Popeyes in my car.
Okay, wait. So you said that yesterday, and I thought that was a little golden nugget too. So and it's smart, okay, because your clients aren't just in a 5 square mile radius.
No, they're not.
Okay. And so when you just keep some cute little things in your car that are not seasonal specific.
Not seasonal. I do, like a pen with a little Popeye tag. Sometimes I have things for kids, just like kids puzzles or coloring books or something, so that if I am out showing homes somewhere in Van Alstyne, that I'm not usually, but I have clients up there that I can just, pop it by real quick. But then I also have the intentional regular Popeyes that I do every month.
So what Popeye are you doing right now?
Girl Scout cookies.
That's right.
Who doesn't love Girl Scout cookies?
Dang, I need some Thin Mints.
Yeah. I should have brought you some.
No,
you should have brought one.
No, you shouldn't.
I have some in the car, actually.
I bet you do.
So if you come down, I have a box in the back of the car.
Do you mind if I ask what your tag says on the Girl Scout cookies?
It is, we're always scouting for new clients and referrals.
I love that so much.
With pictures of all the cookies, all the different types. So
love it.
Yes.
We're pretty lucky because our daughter graduated University of Texas and she has a marketing public relation degree. So she helps us. I mean, we don't do everything ourselves. I mean, that would be difficult.
Well, we get help. It's okay to ask for help.
Yes. You have to. And that's
you
a good
have to ask for help.
Yes.
So I really like the Popeyes. I think it reminded me. So I had someone on the podcast. Her name is Lisa Juden Johnson. She just wrote a book and published a book called The Realtor Circus. And she's very intentional. She does fear-based marketing and she's very intentional about how she does things. But I think it's the first chapter in the book. It's be prepared. Right. Always be prepared, right? And so that kind of what you said about I always keep things in my car in case I'm somewhere that is a little bit more out of my normal driving path. I don't forget about my clients while I'm there, and you're maximizing your time while you're there. Exactly. So I think that's really smart to be prepared,
right?
But also keep some things in your car so you can leverage your time while you're there.
Exactly.
Funny you mentioned that. I was just at Blast Off, in January
I missed
earlier.
That Peanut was sick and I had to stay home and I was so mad because I really, really wanted to go to Blast Off.
Yep. And the books were there. Somehow I won a book and I have it at home.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay.
It's a Realtor Business. Yeah,
it's a quick read. I asked her for I told her, I said, I'm not trying to say this as a negative. It's a simplistic read. Okay. Which I also think sometimes we overcomplicate things. Yeah. So it's a fast read. It's a good one. Yeah. Great. I enjoyed reading it and I enjoyed having her on the podcast. She's good.
Oh,
very cool.
That's awesome.
But anyway, okay. So there was something I really wanted to talk about today that I thought was really interesting about your business, besides the things that we've already discussed. You guys have become your neighborhood expert.
Right.
And I talked to you about this yesterday. It's even funny. Like I'm even talking about it myself. Is I've never spent quality time in any of my businesses marketing my backyard. Now, right now, it doesn't make sense because we don't have an office in Salina. But I find that we all somehow feel the need to, or a lot of us, not everyone. I don't want to put everybody in that box, but why do we feel the need to get in our car and drive to go somewhere to develop business when we live where the business is?
Yep.
Exactly.
Right there.
And it's the most fun because they're your neighbors and the people that you want to socialize it with anyway.
Yep. So, and we see what's happening in the neighborhood every day. We're in and out of it 10 times a day, driving through it. And we have about 2,000 homes in our neighborhood, right? And we've been there, luckily, for 16 years.
Okay, you said that. I wanted you to set the stage. You've lived there for 16 years.
Have, same house.
And approximately how many transactions do you think you've done in that time?
50, 60?
Okay.
Do you mean in the neighborhood?
Purchase transactions in the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, 50 to 60.
And then you've done countless leases.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have really capitalized on living and working in your backyard.
We have. I mean, the easiest part to say is that it's right there.
It's right there.
You see everything.
It's right there.
I literally have had a neighbor walk up to our front door and knock on the door and ask me to come over and give him a value on his house he's ready to sell.
And you were like,
and I walked with him.
Right now.
I said, let's go. I walked out with him and he lived literally right behind us, about 3 homes down. And we talked. We had a good conversation and all that. But our kids go to the elementary school there, so we're very involved with the PTA, right? And then they went to the middle school and the high school, and we supported them through the baseball teams and the football teams and all of that. So we were very involved. We did a lot of volunteering, at the schools and up at our clubhouse. We have a golf clubhouse there. So it's kind of easy, right?
It is. It's not. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're, like I said, having to drive and work another neighborhood.
Right.
I mean, it's convenient.
I'm like, okay, like it's so easy. Yep. Do you guys have a neighborhood Facebook page too?
Several.
3.
Okay.
3
Several.
or 4.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, why do you need 3?
Just because we
don't know.
We're special.
But we don't question. We just go along with it.
That's right. So what, okay. A realtor wants to farm their backyard. Mm-hmm. What is your biggest piece of advice for farming your backyard? It's written on that. It's
just being involved.
Number 5.
Yeah, being involved, being present, being visible.
Yes.
I mean, we can't just stay in our house and work in our home office. Yes, we have to be consistent. Consistent mailers to the neighborhood. We help a lot of the neighbors with comps when they want to protest their property taxes every spring.
That's a good one.
That's been a big one, probably, 40, 50.
How do you tell them that you will help them? Do you put that on the Facebook page or did they just...
No.
Both. Or do you mail something to, what do you do? Like you want to know the value of your home? How do you advertise that?
Yeah, they know us now that, it's been so long. So they'll ask us and we have a list of people that we automatically send that to, even proactively.
Okay.
In January,
yeah,
we'll send this out. Hey, here's what, you can look forward to when that tax, bill comes. So think about it now. So we do it both ways. And then some people, the newer people that have moved into the neighborhood will ask on Facebook and we'll send that right back to them. So it's a combination of ways, really, because most people know that we are realtors. They're in the neighborhood, so we'll just send them out.
Okay.
But it's being consistent. Like Angela said, it's always, being out in the neighborhood. And if something happens, we had the ice storm, a year ago, pretty terrible. Some trees were down. Well, I'll go out. I have a truck and we'll go out and cut some limbs down or help a neighbor or whatever. Just being there, being present and helping out and volunteering. When we have up at our playground, we'll have like a Halloween trick-or-treat night or things like that, and we'll be there and we'll sponsor that and we'll bring candy and do those things as well. So,
we do the park cleanup.
Right.
So we'll get donuts and coffee and juice in the morning and a couple times a year, and invite the neighborhoods to come out and clean up the local park.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And that costs you $50 bucks.
Yep.
$50.
Yeah.
Right.
To start some new conversations and make some new friends and make some new contacts that could actually use you on their next, the next, when they want to sell their house.
Right.
That's what it's about.
Okay. I think that's great. So I think the lead generation in your own backyard is incredibly important, because I just, like I said, I feel like everybody feels like they've got, in order to be working, you've got to get in your car and go somewhere. And that's really just not necessary. So you've positioned your ground, I call it the ground game. I stole that from another realtor that does nothing but geo farming, and he started calling it ground game. And I was like, it sounds really military, but I like it. So we're going to use it. Your ground game, to recap, you do client events also. You do client events in the neighborhood. You sponsor the golf tournaments. You're incredibly involved in the school, both from a sponsorship standpoint, but also from a volunteer standpoint. Yes. Okay. You were a staple at the school when your kids were in the school. Yes. You sponsored the baseball team, golf tournaments, you do a bunch of open houses.
A lot of open houses. Yeah,
okay.
Make those big, flags out front, a lot of signs, and a lot of giveaways.
Yes, do you still have the big tall flag? Used to? I know that was for your previous brokerage, but I didn't know if you still used it or not.
They had a balloon, a blow up, Remax had the huge blow up balloon, we put out front.
Yep.
And we invite the neighbors, we knock on doors, we go by, come see us, some.
Okay.
Yeah, not 100, right? But maybe 10 or 15 around the area.
That's okay. You don't have to knock on it. See, it's extremely doable, right? When you knock on their door, what do you say?
Oh, hey, we're having an open house tomorrow. Come on, we'd just love to show you the home.
Okay.
Keep it really simple. People don't want to be bothered maybe as much now.
Well, yeah, it's hard.
So we just say, here's what I'm doing, and we'd love to see if you want to come by.
Okay.
That's it. And let them go from there.
And they do.
Yeah. And most of the neighbors, right, they'll know us, right? Mm-hmm. So they'll see us. So sometimes we don't have to say that. I'll say, here's an invitation, and I give them the flyer, come on by, or we're giving out this, or we're going to have an ice cream truck or something. So send the kids, whatever it is, we'll just kind of give them an invite and let it go from there. And
you always sponsor the neighborhood events or the community events.
Yep. Whatever they're doing.
Look, it's so funny to me because there's no giant secrets in real estate, right? It really is to build a successful real estate business for life or for your career.
Right. It
is about who's going to be consistent the longest. And there's nothing super sexy and super exciting, these things aren't earth-shattering revelations, right? No. They're just doing your tasks day in and day out and being consistent. And I always say this is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Exactly.
Yep. You got to be present, got to be consistent. And, even on the social media, we have to be updated on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel. That's important.
Okay.
Yep. We have a big YouTube channel presence. We're doing videos there. We know those are important.
Look at your YouTube channel.
Check me out. Okay. Yeah. And it's going to get better.
I can't wait. I didn't realize, so I have to go look you up.
The wave they're saying of the future, and we've done several, and we're doing more.
What are you doing? What is your content on YouTube?
It's mostly knowledge base or market updates, things of that nature, interest rates, and now we're doing community specific videos. We have a drone and a person that helps us with that, who shoots the homes in the area and the parks and the schools, and then I kind of put it together as, okay, here's Heather Ridge Estates, and here's what it has to offer in Frisco, or here's Deer Park and Plano, whatever, Plantation Resort, right? There's a lot of good little nuggets you can put into a video, especially with a drone, and fly by and show them and then talk about that. Since we've lived in the area more than just the 16 years, we've been here probably almost 30 years in North Dallas, right? So we know the area, we know Addison, we know everywhere from, back and forth, of North Dallas. So it's kind of easy to take little nuggets of those communities and put them on YouTube.
Okay.
That's our focus for the next year or two right there.
I think it's great. I can't wait to go and see it. So I think that's a great place to wrap up for today. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. And you were a great guest and we shared a lot of information. So thank you for being so candid and vulnerable with your conversation. I appreciate it very much.
Our pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on another episode. Again, I'm your host, Tamera Gady. If you like my content, you're really going to love my escrow team. So give me an opportunity to talk to you about your title needs and make it a great day.